welcome to C2C Express TV. My name is Chris Clemens, Shady Duck 1979, and tonight I have a special guest who is just off camera, and that is Kusapup, hanging out in front of the fire. Tonight we will be having a fireside chat. It is December 1st, 2018. My wife and I decided that we were going to take a random trip to New Jersey. No plan, no hotel. We're just going to go down there and see what happens. Since we were going to be close, I let my uncle know that we were going to be in the area. And we made plans to have breakfast at the Shore Diner in Egg Harbor Township. It was great to see him. It was great to catch up. And it's great to see this SL that he had. We had a great weekend. It was great seeing him. And we went home to start our Christmas decorations and spreading merriment. A week later, I got a phone call from my mother that my uncle had just passed away. I couldn't believe it. I had just seen him, and now he's gone. I called my aunt, and the first words she said to me were, "He loved you very much." His name was Bob Burns. He was a mayor, a radio host, but most importantly, a mentor to me. He taught me to never join the masses in the status quo. To say that it was a blow would be a massive understatement. I was in shock. I was numb. And I had no idea what to do. I felt completely alone, but I did what I had to do. I helped the family as best I could and reached out to my aunt, who became somebody much closer than she ever was before. It's a relationship that I truly treasure. I told her, since I had not found a car, that I wanted to do a Cannonball in his Mercedes. Not the best car to do a run in, but having that meaning behind it was important to me. When I told her about it, she didn't quite understand at first. And then I told her about Brock Yates and Car and Driver and why they did the first ones, and it clicked. She remembered reading about it when it was new. And she said, "He would love that. The car is yours." So now I had a car. His car. I started with a modest budget to get the car ready for a run, which I very quickly burned through, replacing far too much, but I just needed that car to be perfect. I started with the basics. The strut mounts were in rough shape when I got it back here, so I changed them. Then I read about what fails around 100,000 miles, since we were getting close to that. I changed the shocks, sway bar bushings. Next thing I know, I've rebuilt the whole car, all the way down to the seat leather and floor mats. I had reached out during the build process to former Cannonballers, one of them being Dave Klink. And he told me I needed to stop because I've gone way too far already. Everything that could wear was now new. If it wasn't replaced, it was improved. I had your usual suite of Cannonball countermeasures: CB, police scanner, laser jammers, aircraft avoidance systems, mounts for phones, fuel cell, infrared camera. My OCD helped me put off the waves of emotion that everyone knows are coming. Getting the car done happened a lot quicker and yet slower at the same time than I thought it would. After I finished, I sat down, took a break, and confronted my grief over losing my uncle. him being in radio, he had a lot of people call in during the radio shows to express condolences, share memories, and I listened to those. They were hard, but they gave me a lot of comfort. That this man did so much in the world that people thought enough to call into the radio station to talk about him. So now I need to test everything that I'd done. And the test that I did, I put 1,400 miles on the car without a hiccup. The only problem I ever had was the occasional evap code, which made sense because of the way that I plumbed in the fuel cell. I was starting to get excited. 2 months before I planned to go, I changed my workout routine and my diet, because Cannonball is as much about the human factor as it is the mechanical. People do not realize the toll that it takes on your body to be in a car for that amount of time, and the level of concentration required. During the builds, I had also joined some of the secret Cannonball groups. On Ed Bollion's suggestion, I had talked to Ben Charlie Safari Wilson about an exception for my car to run in the 2019 C2C Express. But the car being 20 years too new for the rules, it was pretty easy for him to say no. It was still worth an ask. Later on, I asked him about joining the get-together before the C2C, and Ben said I could attend. All I got for information at that point was it was going to be in early September and in Connecticut. None of my friends totally understand Cannonball, which makes sense. If you're not going to do it, you're not going to be as into it as we are. So I wanted to meet some of the people who do it. At the very least, I would know some people who would understand when I got to the Portofino completely alone, anticlimactic. A few days before the C2C, it was pretty clear it was happening that weekend, so I reached out, got a confirmation and the location. After Ben met me, he said if I wanted to run the Merc, it was fine. Cannonball has a way of getting under some people's skin, and mine especially. I was excited. So excited that I would have thrown anyone in my car to go. I definitely knew better, but I caught what was in the air in that garage that night and tried to get a co-driver so I could leave. Unfortunately, I didn't get to, but I caught that bug, and if I had gotten just a little bit of a push, I probably would have gone out to California for the after party. I was willing, but not willing to go alone. I didn't really feel I had the right to join the fraternity of lunatics at the finish line. Not yet. That's all for tonight. Chris evidently did not want to make an appearance. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and be true to your school.